Hey boys and girls, today we are going to start talking about volume. I think that is not very clear. Oh no. Well, that is not looking very good on my end. Let's see if I can. There we go. There we go. All right. It needed to wake up this morning. Okay, good. So today we're going to start talking about volume. We're in your module 1 through 9 book, page 95. So we're back in that other module, and when we get done with this, we have learned everything for this year, which is super exciting. Okay, so we're going to first build solid figures, so not a flat surface, a 3D figure, using unit cubes. All right, so that's going to be our job today, is to use our unit cubes to build a solid figure. All right, so it says Alexandria is volunteering to stack boxes of soup cans at a community food bank. She stacks the boxes to form the right rectangular prism shown, so we see it right here. Make visual models to show 3 other ways she could do that. So this is something I love to do. So first, let's see what she's got here. She has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 boxes. So let's look and see what she did. Her length, how long it is, was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes. Her length times width times height. Because since this is a solid figure, it has a length, a width, and a height. So it's only 1 box wide, okay, because it's just 1 tall stack. And then it is 2 boxes high. She has 2 boxes on these. So 6 times 1 times 2 does give me my 12. So what our job today is to say, what's a different way that I could create this? So we're going to do one way together, but you could think of lots of different ways. And you can draw it out. And I have some blocks right here that I'm going to use. And one thing you might want to start doing is thinking, what do I know that multiplies together to give me 12? We've got 6 times 1 times 2, and we can use those same numbers and do it in a different way. So I want to show you that first. So let's say I wanted to do 2 times 6 times 1. So that means it's 2 units long. 2 units long. I always say, how long is my fish? That's my length. 6 units wide. So that means it would go like this. 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll see if I have all green. So let's count that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. And it's 1 block high. So I only have 1 stacked up there. Find all my greens. Okay. So again, my dimensions, that's an important word, dimensions, my length, my width, my height, 2 units long, 6 units wide, and 1 unit high. All right, very cool. So if I did one more, I know the numbers 3 times 2 give me 6, and 6 times 2 would give me 12. So that's another one I could do. So if I have 3 units long and 2 units wide, so here we go, 3 units long, 2 units wide, and 2 units tall. That's going to be another way. And doesn't that rectangular prism look a lot different than the one I just made? It sure does. So there are tons of ways that we could do that. All right, let's flip over to page 96. Carlos and Kelly are building store displays in the shape of right rectangular prisms using cube-shaped boxes. Use unit cubes to make visual models of the two displays. And you can do that, but I know that especially if you're at home, you may not have blocks, and that's okay. How many cubes are in each one? So if we look at our pictures, we need to do the same thing that I just did. We've got 2 units long, 2 units wide, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 times 4 is 16. So I know 16 is in Carlos's, and let's look at Kelly's. 1, 2, 3, 4, by 2, by 2. 4 times 2 is 8, and 8 times 2 is 16 in Kelly's. So see how Carlos and Kelly have the same amount of boxes, but they look very different because of the way they've displayed them. So it says, think of the length of the edge of each cube-shaped box as 1 unit. What are the dimensions? And that's what we did. We just said 1 box, 1 box. So we've already done that part. So the dimensions of each are 2 by 2 by 4 that we already wrote for Carlos, and 4 by 2 by 2. So remember, length, how long is it? Width, how wide, usually it's that sideways, and then of course height is how tall it is. Alright, how many faces and edges does a cube have? So if we're just looking at this cube, the face is the flat space on it. So it has a flat space on the bottom and the top. I can't see the bottom, but I know it's there. Then it's got the 2 sides and the back and the front. Again, you don't see them, but you know they're there. We know in this cube, this part on the bottom is still there. It still exists. So it has 6 faces, and an edge is this line. So this side has 4 edges. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we've got our back 10, 11, 12. It has 12 edges. Much easier to know that when you have it, but you got 4 on top, 4 on the bottom, and then these 4 that connect them. How many faces and edges does each display have? So don't let that get you confused. You don't need to count each one because they're representing this is one side. So since these are right rectangular prisms, they're rectangles, they have the same amount as just one cube. So they have 6 faces and 12 edges. How can you place Carlos's display to make it match Kelly's exactly? Well, look at Carlos's. If I take it here and I just lay it down flat, it's going to be the exact same thing. Okay. So I'm just going to lay it down flat on its side, and it's going to be that same thing. All right, let's turn the page. 97. We do need to be able to know how many cubes are in a display when we see it. So let's look down here at number 1. It says Aaron builds store displays using cube-shaped boxes. Count the number of cubes. When I have something like this, I like to mark on them and count them that way. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one has 7. And I like to do that because it's easy to accidentally count the same one twice, or maybe forget one. All right, here. Now remember, this told me that this is a solid figure, which is very important because that means even though I'm not seeing this back side, I know that it's filled in because it told me it was solid. So I know I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on the front. And I've got 2 rows of that. So if I have 10 on the front, then I know I've got 10 on the back. So that would be 20 unit cubes. let's flip over to 98. Let's look at number 5. Count the number of unit cubes used to build the solid figure. So again, I've got these 3 kind of stuck out in the front. Even though I don't see them, I know that there's 4, 5, 6 back there. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So since we see this second row here, I know that there's 3 on that bottom. 3, 6, 9, and then the 10, 11, 12 in the front. I need to do the same thing here. I know I've got 1, 2 on top. I've got 3, 4. I know I've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 cubes. This one's a little trickier to see, but you know that you've got 2 wide. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Alright, and that's our job today. Your homework is a lot of looking like this, counting those cubes. Do that, and we will talk about it tomorrow.